and I'll do the rest as sniper. So if you watch his first shot, he'll take 3. Oh, it looks like 2 actually. But he hit once and missed. So now you see he's switched characters. He switched characters automatically, but when he did, he was using his normal attack. And I'm noticing my volume is off here, so let's adjust the volume. Audio, sound. So I'm gonna reduce the sound effects volume to about there. Well, maybe less with the music, less with that. Movie doesn't matter. And I'm just gonna reduce voiceovers a little bit. Alright. And there is no inventory limit in this game. So go nuts, pick up everything you find. And don't worry about examining what you've found right away. You'll have plenty of time during the game to, you know, fine-tune your inventory, move your equipment around, that sort of thing. So that little cutscene was a sneaky way of showing us that a hand grenade will hit multiple targets, but be careful, it'll hit friendlies as well. But I'm going to use one. And all you do to use a hand grenade is it's one of your options. I have hand grenades in my inventory, so they show up in this list. If I have multiple types of hand grenades, I'll have scrolly arrows. So I choose the center target, choose to throw the grenade. Since my dexterity is high, I'll probably do quite well. Outstanding. So the bodies fade out over time, but any inventory they had will show up in one of these belts. So in this case, those guys kind of vanished out of nowhere. That usually doesn't happen. Actually, that's the first time I've seen it. They usually run around the corner. But let's attack them. So you can see I'm shooting through this guy and he's not getting hurt. That's usually the case. Explosive devices will hurt friendlies, but you can shoot right through your buddies and it won't hurt them. Now, one of the things with this game engine, regardless of the game they write in it, and there's been quite a few, when you kill somebody, the remains may not show up immediately. Sometimes it takes quite a while, and that's a little bit of an annoyance. You may miss some equipment because you fight something. It looks like he didn't drop anything, then you leave, and you may only find out you missed some inventory because you come back later and there's a belt lying on the ground.
It's a Dark Jedi! This fight is too much for us! We better stay back! All we do is get in the way! That was one of the Jedi accompanying Bastila. Damn, they could have used her help.
Alright, again we see some enemies, so the game pauses. And I can micromanage both characters. I can switch characters and tell this guy to use his Power Blast, which is higher damage if it hits, but lower chance to hit. That's the up and down side of that attack. But let's go ahead and use it. And you can see I've selected which character he's fighting. That guy's stunned. Those little blue swirlies were the attack that I caused. Oh, I didn't want to do that.
Sure.
It actually stunned him, so he was just standing there doing nothing. I'm not sure what causes a stun. I don't think it's a particular skill. I think it's just rare random chance you'll stun a character. So this still says remains, yep, and he has some, so there we go. Occasionally that remains flag will stay, and they will have nothing else to pick up. Just minor little buglets. So I'll do a quick save again, because he's going to ask me to equip a sword.
The bridge is just beyond that door. You better equip your melee weapon. There isn't much room on the bridge, and it's suicide to use a blaster in close quarters. I should equip a melee weapon, too. Either that or I'll have to stay back and use my blaster.
I haven't played the game with melee or with a blaster enough, I'm usually melee, to know if that was a lie, just to get me to try out my sword. I don't know how much of a disadvantage, if any, there is to close quarters fighting with a blaster. So that might be something we try later. But for now, well, okay. And this little side thing, because some of these swords aren't lightsabers. They're called vibra swords, and they're just swords. So he's asking, wait a minute, what if they have lightsabers?
Your melee weapon is made using a cortosis weave. It's strong enough to stand up against anything, even a lightsaber.
Sure, but I'm not. But anyway, they're just giving themselves, what do they call it, technobabble excuse to why there's swords in the game. Works for me, no complaining. So let's equip. I'll equip the short sword because I have no particular skill in swords anyway. And then I can click over to this guy and I'll give him the long sword because he's actually quite good with melee weapons. The reason I'm not is because I have low strength. And let's give it a shot.
What?
So here we go, and this time I can critical strike or I can normal attack, and I think I'll stick with my normal attack. And the stupid health, what happened there? I think I just undid. Yeah. Okay, and we'll head over to this guy and we'll tell him to fight him just with normal attacks.
Bastila is not here on the bridge. They must have retreated to the escape pods. We better head that way too. The Sith want Bastila alive, but once she's off the ship, there's nothing stopping them from blasting the Endar Spire into galactic dust.
Alright, so I gained a level, but after I gained a level, clearly I took some damage. But just to see how weak I am, I only have 6 hit points. Not as bad as it sounds. This isn't a game where you have 15,000 hit points. This guy only has 36, and he's a full-on fighter. But I'm definitely soft and squishy, so I have to be careful about what kind of fight I get into at the moment. Any other? There's a backpack. That's the one I was just looking at. Another thing I don't particularly like about the game is you can't tell if you've already looted something. It doesn't change. And anybody that watches my Divine Divinity videos know that that's a real pet peeve. Why they don't just leave it open or show that it's empty from a distance, I don't know. I wish all games would do that. Hey, game writers, go look at Divine Divinity and see how they do it. So we'll do a quick save. My health is quite low, and it's going to require me to level up, so we may as well do that. Can't get through that door without it. Now, if I go recommended, it throws... actually, that's pretty good. I was going to say it throws a bunch into repair, but clearly it doesn't. That's what I would have done. Yeah, I mean, you know, I could take... Let's see. Demolitions, do I really want? Because I'm not going to use much of those. Yeah, that's good for me. There's a lot of mines in the game, and that allows me to disarm mines very effectively, so yeah, I'll stick with that. That's good. Security, persuade, yeah. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. In other words, I'll leave it the way it recommended. Okay, so what's it going to recommend this time? Gearhead. I don't think I like that. Let's see. This feat gives a +1 skill to repair, security, and computer use. Yeah, I think I'll leave the repair and computer use to one of the other characters. Unfortunately, what's going to happen when I remove this feat and make my own choice, every time I ask it to recommend for every level for the rest of the game, it's going to recommend Gearhead now. That's unfortunate because the recommendations they give are really good, and I would have liked to have some way to say I don't want Gearhead and then have it recommend something else, but can't have everything. I'm going to choose this. As I said, I've never had a character with full implant level, so just to see what that's like, we're going to go that way. I'm sure there's other stuff, like I could go to medium armor. Probably affects my stealth, though. I could improve my pistol, and I will soon enough, you know. I could improve my melee, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to, until maybe I start getting lightsabers. But for now, I'll go with that. And let's go through the door. Now, I could empty out this guy's inventory. I don't think he has much. Let's just check his inventory. Yeah, he's only got the one sword. Screw it. And I'll show you why.
What?
He's about to donate his life.
There's something behind here. Damn, another Dark Jedi! I'll try to hold him off. You get to the escape pods. Go!
Yes, how selfless of you. Okay. I'm going to switch back to my blaster. See, we got +5 to blaster as well. So actually doing quite